crowded nights, roar of the field burning bright, shadows clash in the fading night. Student body rise, student body fight. Feel the surge, feel the might. Run the play under the blue spotlight.
The 8 o'clock hour, Eastern Standard Time.
Cleats on the turf, hearts in the game. Chasing the glory, chasing the flame. One team,
I don't even know when daylight savings time. It'll fall back probably in a couple months. Welcome to Student Body Right, or as it says, Student Body Rigidly. I don't know how to type. My screw up. Did you enjoy the first weekend of college football? Hopefully having Griffin McVeigh on to talk Texas Longhorns. Look, it's just one game. I've seen other people talking about this now, about get rid of the AP poll and get rid of the coaches poll. They had their place at one point in time. They mean nothing. They mean absolutely nothing. If the publications like Phil Steele and some of the others, Pro Fantasy or whatever, they want to come out with their rankings and stuff like that, great. Just to sell magazines. But the Associated Press poll, get rid of it. Coaches poll, get rid of it. They don't mean anything anymore. No team should be ranked. They should do. You play half the season, and then the College Football Playoff Committee comes out with their initial rankings after like the 7th week of the year. The AP poll and coaches poll, they come out. It changes after week 1 anyway. They're stupid. They don't mean anything anymore. I don't put any stock into the AP or coaches poll. Period. They're worthless. I know the college football, whatever. I'm tired of talking about it, to be quite honest with you. So what do we witness over the weekend? Let's go through it. But I just do the top 25. Oh, excuse me. And to get it all started, Friday. Actually, last Thursday. South Florida beat the hell out of Boise State. 34-7. Boise State was brutalized. Boise State got Boise State. They got Boise Stated. They got taken behind the woodshed. For Boise State, Maddox Madsen was 25 of 46 for 225 yards and a touchdown. Boise State ran the ball collectively 38 times for 122 yards. Main receivers was Latrell Caples, 4 catches, 58 yards. Ladies and gentlemen, the team turned it over 5 times. Fumbling wise. You're not going to win many games turning it over that many times. Leading tackler for Boise State was Jaden Virgin Morgan with 8 total tackles. For South Florida, Byron Brown was 16 of 24, 210 yards, no touchdowns, no picks. They ran the ball collectively 28 times for 117 yards, but 3 rushing touchdowns, 2 of them by Byron Brown. South Florida receiving, Chris Nimrod with 3 catches for 96 yards, and Keyshawn Singleton, 5 catches, 93 yards, and a touch. Leading tackler was Jalen Schuler, 14 total tackles. We go to the team stats. Again, Boise State, 5 fumbles. They lost 3 of them. South Florida didn't turn it over any. That's really all you need to know about the game. Boise State went for it on 4th down 6 times, only converted twice. But the turnovers killed Boise State, and they got out physical. Period. I mean, anybody that watched that game, South Florida bullied them to hell. Then on Friday, not really much of a test. Number 12th ranked Illinois Illini whooped up on Western Illinois 52-3. And really a laugher of a non-conference game, to be quite honest with you. Western Illinois, Chris Irvin was 14-29, 134 yards passing, no touchdowns, no picks. Western Illinois couldn't run the ball for shit. 26 carries, 29 yards. Leading receiver for Western Illinois, Demary Davis, 4 catches, 65 yards. Leading tackler was Esteban Gillory, 9 total tackles. Illinois, Luke Altmaier did his thing, 17-21, 217 yards, 3 touchdowns, no interceptions. Aiden Lafferty, 9 carries for 101 yards and 2 touchdowns. Hank Beatty, 5 catches for 108 yards. Leading receiver. Leading tackler was Gabe Jackus, 5 total tackles. You look at the game, the team statistics. Illinois ran the ball for 209 yards, Western Illinois 29. Illinois 440 total yards of offense, Western Illinois 163. A whoop ass, which will happen when you schedule cupcakes. Then on Saturday, we'll run through it here. The 24th ranked Vols beat Syracuse 45-26. I thought Syracuse a couple times was going to make a push. Tennessee had an answer for everything. You took the over. Good for you. For Syracuse, Steve Angeli was 23-40, 270 yards passing, 1 touchdown, 1 pick. Yassine Willis, 23 carries, 91 yards, 3 rushing touchdowns for the Cuse. Jonte Cook, 6 receptions, 58 yards, and 1 touchdown. Leading tacklers for Syracuse, Dave Reese, Deuce Chestnut, 7 total tackles apiece. For Tennessee, Joey Aguilar, making Tennessee fans forget about Nico Iamaleava. He was 16-28, 247, 3 touchdowns, no interceptions. Star Thomas and Deshaun Bishop, 92 yards and 82 yards rushing, respectively. Tennessee running the football, 39 carries, 248 yards, 2 touchdowns. Braylon Staley was the leading receiver, 4 receptions, 95 yards and a touch. Arian Carter, 9 total tackles. Tennessee was 7-12 on 3rd down. Syracuse was 5-14. Again, they won the rushing battle. Tennessee did 248-103. Syracuse won the passing battle. Syracuse turned it over twice. Tennessee once. Entertaining game. It was back and forth there for a little bit. Tennessee jumped up big. Syracuse made a push, and then Tennessee sort of put it to bed. The number 23rd ranked Texas Tech Red Raiders beat the shit out of Arkansas Pine Bluff 67-7. There are some prognosticators who have picked Texas Tech to win the Big 12. But again, Cupcake City, what do you expect? For Arkansas, Pine Bluff, passing wise, Christian Peters was 17-33, 122 yards, 1 touchdown, 1 interception. Collectively, Pine Bluff ran it 26 times for 53 yards, 17 catches for 122 yards collectively. Leading tackler was Azavon Stribling with 6 total tackles. For Texas Tech, Baron Morton, 16 for 20, 21 yards, 4 touchdown passes, no interceptions. Cameron Dickey, 13 carries, 90 yards, and a touchdown. Texas Tech running the football collectively, 28 carries, almost 300 yards, and 3 rushing touchdowns. Reggie Virgil, 4 catches, 56 yards, and a touch. 4 Red Raiders with 4 tackles apiece. Bryce Ramirez, Wesley Smith, Ben Roberts. We go to the team stats. Again, Texas Tech, 610 yards of total offense. Arkansas Pine Bluff, 175. It was a bludgeoning, 67-7. Again, in this new era of college football that we're in, I get it. Playing an FCS opponent or even a lesser opponent, it's a great payday for them. Nobody wants to see shit like this, 67-7. Nobody, I don't want to see that. Stop scheduling the Arkansas Pine Bluffs of the world, and just Big 12 schedule non-conference games against, I don't know, the Mountain West or the ACC. I don't want to see 67-7. And I'm a college football fan through and through, but I don't want to watch another team run up the score on another team. It's bullshit. I don't care what kind of payday Arkansas Pine Bluff got. It's demoralizing. A game that I thought might be a little bit closer just because South Dakota is a good FCS team. But Iowa State proved that the win against Kansas State was no fluke. They beat the shit out of South Dakota 55-7. It was actually close for a little bit. And Iowa State said, For South Dakota, passing wise, Aiden Bowman was 15-29, 126 yards, a touchdown, 2 picks. South Dakota rushing collectively 21 yards, 82 yards. We're much better in the passing game, 15 receptions, collectively 126 yards. 2 South Dakota defensemen, leading tacklers, DeJuan Lewis, RJ Stewart with 9 total tackles apiece. Iowa State, again, Rocco Beck doing his thing. Could be a sleeper for the Heisman. Depends on how Iowa State season goes. He was 15-20, 270 yards passing, 3 touchdowns, no picks. Dylan Lee, 13 carries, 81 yards, and a touch down. Collectively, Iowa State ran the ball 42 times, 223 yards, and 4 rushing touchdowns. Iowa State receiving, leading receiver Gabe Merkel. Merkel, 4 carries or 4 receptions, 85 yards, and a touchdown. Leading tackler for Iowa State, Jamison Patton, 6 total receptions. We go to the team stats. Ladies and gentlemen, Iowa State was 9 of 10 on 3rd down. But again, South Dakota turned it over twice. Iowa State, none. Iowa State just bludgeoned them to death, 55-7. So again, I understand South Dakota is a good FCS program. Stop scheduling. I don't want to see 55-7. I don't want to see 67-7. Look, in the new era of college football, like I said, Iowa State, stop scheduling teams like this. Go out and schedule a Notre Dame or something. Well, who knows? I see him in the green room. I'm just going to bring him on. Ladies and gentlemen, that, hey, Griffin, thanks for coming on, my friend.
Of course, how you doing?
Good, how are you? Said this before. National News Desk at On3 Sports. From our at Longhorns Wire. He is an Alabama graduate. We all see what happened there. But look, let's talk about the Texas Ohio State game. I had Texas winning. I think people really need to give Arch a break. He is the driver of the offense, the only driver of the offense right now at quarterback. It's not like Texas played bad. The defense played well enough to win. It's not like Ohio State did anything spectacular. They've got to give the kid a little bit of a break here. It's just one game. I know it was a big game, but look, Ohio State coming off a national title, Griffin, Lee Corso's headgear pick. But it was only 14-7. Everybody's like ready to hang Texas out to dry, but we still have 11 games to play.
Yeah, and they're going to get a nice little break here for a month. They got their 3 non-conference games that are going to be pretty winnable, and you can kind of consider them preseason games if you'd like. Arch will get a little bit more comfortable. The offense will settle in. We'll probably figure out that running back rotation a little bit more, the offensive line, what they need to do. And then if you're Sarkisian, you're hoping that you maybe get some of your depth going too. So when you need them later in SEC play, they can step up to the plate too. But yeah, I completely agree. It's only one game, 14-7, and it's a little bit of a different scenario from Texas compared to previous years. The past 3 years, their marquee game, it was in week 2. So, their first game of the season was one of those warm-up games, and it let, Ewers and everyone else settle in. But Arch was thrown right into the fire, and should they have been a little bit better prepared? Maybe. Probably, actually. But it's just a little bit different experience for Sarkisian at Texas, and obviously it goes away.
So, look, Arch was a little bit inconsistent. He wasn't perfect. He has to improve on his consistency. But I sort of put most of the blame on Sark because it was almost like he was holding him back with the play calling. It wasn't like he turned him loose. I thought that Sark's play calling for most of the game was a little bit conservative.
Yeah, I definitely agree. But at the same time, you kind of feel like those two are kind of tied together. I think something people were excited about with Manning compared to Ewers was that he's going to be able to throw the ball downfield and effectively, especially with a guy like Ryan Wingo. We saw it a little bit last year when Manning got the start. Or DeAndre Moore, he's a speed guy, especially out of the slot, and you really thought that those two guys would be able to create some explosive plays. We just didn't see it. You're right. Some of it was conservative. Some of it was Manning just didn't make the right read. There were a couple plays where crossers were clearly coming across the middle of the field, and Manning either didn't hit him, didn't see him. A couple in a really big spot too. And Sarkisian's kind of been getting killed for his red zone play calling in recent years. Obviously the goal line play here this past Saturday. You can even go all the way back to the 2023 Oklahoma game where they stuffed him right on the 1 yard line. I'm pretty sure it's 3 runs and then a little quick screen pass out to Xavier Worthy that just didn't get in. So this has been a problem for a few years now. And they tried to use Arch's legs a little bit on that quarterback sneak. Sarkisian admitted he wished he maybe did things a little bit different, gotten some of their jumbo personnel in so they could have gotten maybe an extra bigger tight end there, maybe an offensive lineman. And I don't know if he would have run power or if still would have gone with the sneak, but definitely agree. A little bit conservative at times, but I think him and Sarkisian and Manning kind of go together. And if Sarkisian's going to be on, then Manning's going to be on too. If Manning struggles a little bit, then the play calling's not going to look as good.
Yeah, the quarterback sneak with Arch down there on the goal line was baffling to me. Just line up your big uglies, put a fullback in there in front of the tailback, and just power it in there. I didn't understand why he went for the quarterback seat, but sometimes I've watched Sark over the years a lot. tends to outthink himself, Griffin, a little bit, just from the standpoint of just stick to basic football. I think he tries to get a little bit too cute in certain situations, and it bites him in the butt.
Right. I think some Texas fans would tell you that they're maybe not concerned about the offense, but it's just kind of confusing. I mean, Texas definitely has one of the best defenses in the country, and nobody would expect that would be said when Sarkisian was hired back before was it 21 season? Yeah, the 21 season. If you told a Texas fan in 2025 they'd have the best defense in the country and the offense was maybe lacking a little bit, it'd kind of be like, what? And then if you told them even further, hey, you have Arch Manning, maybe they don't know who Arch Manning is at the time, but they see the last name Manning and they go, oh, wow, the offense is probably going to be pretty good. But yeah, it maybe has been a little bit confusing throughout the years, especially with the Ewers and now one game with Manning.
So, like you said, they've got San Jose State, then UTEP, then Sam Houston. It's basically a vacation for the next 3 weeks for Texas.
And I think a bye is starting there as well. It's either that or right after the Florida game.
So, look, San Jose State's supposed to be a decent team, but they're not on the same level. UTEP is horrible. Sam Houston is horrible. They'll be 3-1. Then they'll head to Florida, which I'm a Gators fan, so I still don't know what to make of Florida. Look, they pounded LIU, but it's Long Island. I didn't even know Long Island had a university. So then they play Oklahoma in the Red River Shootout, but I still don't know what we're getting out of Oklahoma. Like, everybody thought that Oklahoma was going to be gangbusters, and yeah, I mean, they didn't look too good their first week. Then it's at Kentucky. That's a win. At Mississippi State, forget it. They're home against Vanderbilt. Forget it. And the big one at Georgia. Home against Arkansas. Still don't know. I mean, Arkansas played a cupcake. So I still don't know what we're getting with Arkansas. And, of course, at home versus Texas A&M. They can still salvage the season. Look, I keep telling Texas fans, just pump the brakes a little bit. They've got cream puffs coming on. At Florida, look, the Swamp doesn't have the aura that it used to. And really, after Florida, they're going to beat Oklahoma. Again, look, and then other than that, it's the Georgia game and the Texas A&M game.
Yeah, and if you're thinking long term here, we're talking about playoff. 9-3 in the SEC is probably going to be good enough to get you in. You just need one marquee win, and Texas's schedule lines up a little bit better compared to last year. Specifically the Florida game, to where if you can take that one, that's going to be one that carries you all the way to Selection Sunday, no matter if you drop one or two more. 9-3 with the win at Florida, and then you're taking a game like Oklahoma maybe, or even Arkansas. Those are the kind of wins that will propel you into the playoff, even if you're not making the SEC championship game, or maybe you're not even close to the SEC championship game. So, yeah, definitely no reason to panic quite yet. Maybe if they come out sluggish again offensively against Florida, that's where some of the alarm bells start to ring. But talking long term, I know Texas has the goal of winning the national championship. They wanted to last year, and definitely the season's not lost, and it's not lost for anyone at this point in the season anymore.
Yeah, I'm thinking, they beat Florida, beat Oklahoma. If they lose to Georgia, they beat A&M. They're 10-2. So,
yeah, and 12 teams, 10-2 is going to get you in automatically in a power conference.
Yeah, so Texas fans don't have a heart attack. It's probably will most likely 90% you're going to make the college football playoff. So before I let you go here, you're an Alabama grad.
Yep.
So I have to ask. They're not going to pay Kalen DeBoer $60 million to buy him out of his contract. People don't understand these coaches have huge buyouts. Griffin, I didn't think he was the right man for Alabama anyway, but it's like I put on social media the other day. Look, coaching in the Big Ten, coaching at Fresno State, coaching wherever he came from before that. It's not like coaching in the SEC, and he's finding out real quick. But at the same token, I will say Jesus himself could be coaching this team, and it still wouldn't be good enough because I don't care who's in there. That's a tough act to follow.
Yeah, it is. Couple guys on three, big national guys, Andy Staples and Chris Lowe had a really good piece today, and they were going through the entire situation. And a good chunk of that was talking about the John Wooden situation, which is way, way before my time. But I can't remember the name of the coach who followed him. But after 2 years, he was kind of like, this isn't for me. And he went to coach basketball at UAB. And even though I'm pretty sure he still made the Final Four and maybe lost in an Elite Eight, maybe. I can't exactly remember. But yeah, during the Alabama coaching search, everyone would tell you you don't want to be the guy to follow the guy. And obviously, we got some great, good returns on DeBoer, mainly in the Georgia game. It's gone completely downhill since then. Florida State being the low point. I mean, it was, if I'm allowed to put my fan hat on for a second, I mean, it was embarrassing. All my friend groups and everything, like, it was just straight embarrassing. It's the most embarrassed any of us have been to be Alabama fans in a long, long time. And it's not even an effort thing. I feel like everyone's getting on to the players about their effort. They definitely still care, and they're still trying to represent Alabama the right way. They're just maybe not portraying it the right way. They're talking a lot in the media. They're kind of doing this quiet disrespect thing. It's been 2 years in a row of it, and they just haven't come out and backed it up at all. It's just it was one of the most mind-boggling things I've ever seen, that game. I wasn't even thinking taking my fan hat off, even as doing this as a job. I wasn't thinking Florida State. I thought Florida State was going to maybe hang around for a little bit, but I just thought maybe the Alabama offensive line was going to be too much. I thought Gus Malzahn would eventually his thing would fade out, but I mean, they just kept running the ball in Alabama, and his his misdirection plays worked perfectly. I mean, there are just some plays where you look at guys like Deontay Lawson, they're completely lost. But I mean, it's going to be a long few weeks. Even, I mean, Alabama's got Wisconsin next week. That better not, for DeBoer's sake, that better not be a game where it's considered even close. Wisconsin is not a good football team. Watch them week 1. But we're going to find out September 27th pretty quickly where this thing's trending. If it gets ugly in Athens, if people thought the Florida State game was ugly, it's going to get a whole lot uglier if Kirby Smart comes in there, or if Kirby Smart just dominates Alabama kind of the way Florida State did. It's about to get a whole lot uglier. So I'm with you. I don't think they're producing any kind of buyout, but there could be drastic changes, either the way DeBoer's doing things, coordinator hires, the way they're bringing in personnel, that kind of stuff. So, yeah, it was an ugly, ugly weekend, and putting the fan hat back on, an embarrassing one.
Was it a surprise that they hired him to succeed, Saban?
I don't know about surprise, because, I mean, when the news came out, it was kind of like oh my God, we're so shocked. And by the time Greg Byrne made a hire, most people hadn't even processed the fact that Saban was gone. And so then there were a bunch of kind of false Dan Lanning rumors that turned out to never materialize. And then, funny enough, Mike Norvell was the other name that people are thinking maybe he's going to get the job. I don't think that would have been too well received, especially after, I mean, that was fresh off the college football playoff fiasco. I don't think people in Tuscaloosa really, talking about the fans here, really enjoyed how Florida State as a whole handled that process, between how they were talking about it going into it, going after, and then the bowl game against Georgia. I just don't think Mike Norvell would have been the right guy at that time. Looking foolish a little bit now, I guess, but there's definitely some optimism with DeBoer, just because, I mean, everywhere he's gone, he's won, kind of like you said. Sioux Falls, Fresno State, and then, I mean, he was literally 2 or 3 days separated from playing in a national championship game, and maybe even should have won that game. I mean, if you remember the week prior, his offense completely destroyed Texas. Michael Penix played one of the best games I've ever seen. Those receivers were incredible. Yeah. Texas maybe should have come back and won there at the last moment, but considering the circumstances, I don't think at the time, there's too much complaining about the hire. It just hasn't gone as planned on the field right now. Off the field, kind of feels like everything's okay. Recruiting's going really well. I know AJ McCarron saying there's not as much NIL in the program. I don't know how much I believe that, but it's definitely going to be an important few weeks for DeBoer to prove that Byrne made the right decision, and he can't let this thing get out of more control than he already has.
Yeah, see, I actually thought that Alabama would go after Dabo. Because Dabo went to Alabama. But again, he's got it made at Clemson.
Yeah,
I don't know
and
how well.
D-
Go ahead.
Dabo and Kiffin were, I mean, they're, I guess you call them like the message board names. Kiffin just doesn't seem like it would happen from an Alabama side, kind of the way he left back in the day. I know Saban still loves him, but when he left, I mean, he didn't even coach in that national championship game that Alabama lost. Didn't really sit well.
Mhm.
And look, I love Lane Kiffin, but I mean, he still hasn't done it in the SEC. I mean, I know Ole Miss had a really good year last year, but they underachieved given what the roster was and what the expectations were. They should have been better. They never should have lost. I mean, losing Kentucky, that was not good. The Florida loss wasn't good. Maybe he does become the guy down the road. And like you said, Dabo, he's got it so well at Clemson, and I know he's slowly started to embrace some of the new era stuff, but he's still not fully there. And if you hire a guy like Dabo and he produces maybe not even similar results to DeBoer, even a little bit less, but I mean that it's just a lot, and the heat is not going to be as hot as it is in Clemson compared to Tuscaloosa.
Ladies and gentlemen, that's Griffin McVeigh from On3 Sports covering the Texas Longhorns. Alabama grad. Griffin, thanks for coming on. I'll pick your brain later on in the season.
All right, appreciate it.
Yep, have a good one.
You as well.
Again, Texas fans, relax. Still finished 10-2 or 9-3. You're in the SEC. You'll be fine. Getting back to the scores from last week, just went over the Iowa State game. Ole Miss beat the shit out of Georgia State. Again, Cupcake City. You can't really gauge anything off of it. Georgia State, Christian Velu was 4 of 11, 52 yards, a touchdown, and a pick. Leading rusher, Rashad Amos, 9 for 69. Leading receiver, Jackson Robinson, 3 for 52 and a touchdown. Leading tackler, Jordan Hole, 8 total tackles. For Ole Miss, leading passer, Austin Simmons, 20 of 31, 341 yards, 3 touchdowns, but he threw 2 picks. Kawan Lacey, 16 receptions, 108 yards, 3 touchdowns. Logan Diggs, 7 for 91 and a touchdown. TJ Dottery was the leading Ole Miss tackle. We go to the team stats. Georgia State was 2 of 15 on third down. Putrid. Ole Miss was 8 of 13. Georgia State actually won a turnover battle, 1-2. But look, Ole Miss, 695 yards of total offense. Georgia State, 260. Taken behind the woodshed, bludgeoned. We go down the list here. Try and get through these as quick as I possibly can. Number 20, Indiana. A little bit closer than most people would have thought. They beat Old Dominion 27-14. It was actually a good game. I was at the casino watching a lot of this stuff. So, Colton Joseph for Old Dominion, 11 of 22, 96 yards, no touchdowns, 3 picks. He also ran the ball 10 times, 179 yards, 2 touchdowns. Naeem Abdul Rahim Gladding, 4 receptions, 35 yards. Defensively, Mario Easterly, 13 total tackles for Old Dominion. Indiana, Fernando Mendoza was 18 of 31, 193 yards, no touchdowns, no picks. Roman Hemby, 23 carries, 111 yards. Kalon Black, 17 carries, 92 yards and a touch. Ladies and gentlemen, Indiana ran the ball 57 times for 309 yards and 2 touchdowns. That's all you need to know. Ball control, or ball control, ball control, ball. Amari Cooper Jr., 2 catches for 52 yards. Indiana defense, Lewis Moore, 7 total tackles. Let's go to the team stats. Indiana went for it 17 times on third down. They were 10 of 17. Old Dominion turned it over 3 times. Indiana only once. Indiana had the ball for almost 42 minutes. And again, you control the clock like that, you win the turnover battle. Again, a little bit closer than Indiana fans would have liked. But Indiana with the W. The W. As we continue to go down the list here. Texas A&M beat Texas San Antonio 42-24, and that's 19th ranked Texas A&M. Let's go to the box score, shall we? For Texas San Antonio, Owen McCown, 19 of 32, 121 yards, no touchdowns, no picks. Robert Henry Jr., have yourself a day, 16 carries, 177 yards, and 2 touchdowns. David Amador II, 3 catches for 41 yards. Defensively, Shad Banks Jr., 7 total tackles. For Texas A&M, Marcel Reed with a big day, 22 of 34, 289 yards, 4 touchdowns, more importantly, no picks. He was also the leading rusher, so Marcel Reed doing it all. Mario Craver, have yourself a day, 8 catches, 122 yards, and 2 touchdowns. Tareen York, 10 total tackles. Your team stats. Clean game, no turnovers. Texas San Antonio actually held the ball a little bit longer than Texas A&M. Texas San Antonio was 5 of 16 on third down. Texas A&M was 3 of 11. But Texas A&M with big play ability had a couple of big plays. Texas San Antonio actually won the rushing battle. Total yards wasn't that much of a discrepancy, but anybody who watched the game, San Antonio was just, they did it methodically. Texas A&M did it on big plays, but a little bit closer than what a lot of people thought. As we go down the list, as this thing buffers, Oklahoma beat Illinois State 35-3. This was actually, Oklahoma struggled for a little bit. They pulled away for a 35-3 win, but they still struggled at some points. Excuse me. It's kind of warm here. For Illinois State, Tommy Rittenhouse, 6 of 13, 22 yards, no touchdowns, no picks. Wankers Wright, 7 carries, 50 yards. Illinois State receiving was on hiatus, 10 receptions, 34 yards collectively. Ty Niekamp, 10 total tackles. For Oklahoma, Jean Mateer, 30 of 37, 392 yards, 3 touchdowns and a pick passing. Torrey Blaylock, 8 carries, 44 yards and a touchdown. Keontez Lewis, have a day. 9 receptions, 119 yards, and 2 receiving touchdowns. Leading tackler was Sammy Omashigo, 8 total tackles. As we go to the team stats here, Illinois State was 1 of 11 for third downs. Hard. Oklahoma no better. They were 4 for 10. Oklahoma turned it over twice. Illinois State, nothing. No turnovers. Illinois State actually won the rushing battle. But Oklahoma with the 392 yards passing. Oklahoma did it with big plays. They're going to have to play much better this coming week. There were some Oklahoma fans that thought that Oklahoma should have won this game like 56-0. So as we go down the list, continue to go down the list, to take a sip of my beverage. Pardon me. Some tasty Snapple iced tea. As we continue to buffer here, if anybody has any comments, feel free to comment and I will throw them up. Again, I know I spelled right wrong. Wasn't going to change it. Screw it. Let's see. Where are we at? Again, it's still buffering. Don't like the buffer. Hate the buffer. I apologize as this thing continues to do its. I hate technology. I really do. Again, as we go down the list, Kansas State beat North Dakota 38-35. There is something wrong with this Kansas State football team. And I can't put my finger on it. North Dakota, good FCS program, one of the tops. But come on, man. Pick Kansas State to win the Big 12. Not looking so good. For North Dakota, Jerry Kaminsky, 23 of 38, 231 yards, 1 touchdown, no interceptions. Sawyer Seidel, 8 carries, 62 yards, 2 touchdowns, rushing. North Dakota receiving, they spread the ball all over the place. 24 catches for 252 yards collectively. Jai Martin, 9 total tackles. Avery Johnson for Kansas State, 28 of 43, 318 yards, 3 touchdowns, no picks. Joe Jackson, 11 carries, 55 yards, no touchdowns. Kansas State receiving, Jace Brown, 12 total receptions for 109 yards and a touchdown. Leading Kansas State tackler was Austin Romaine with 10 total tackles. Let's go to the team stats, shall we? Turn this a little bit here. Again, close throughout. I thought North Dakota was going to win it. Both had a turnover apiece. Both same percentage on 3rd down efficiency. It's just Kansas State scored late. That's how they won the football game. So, again, Kansas State is really going to have to buckle down because they did not look good in this game. Number 16, SMU beat East Texas A&M. I didn't know there was an East Texas A&M. They went 42-13, kind of methodical for SMU. East Texas A&M, Eric Rodriguez, 14-30, 191 yards, no touchdowns and a pick. Jay-Sean McMillan, 4 carries, 31 yards, their leading rusher. Leading receiver was Devin Matthews, 4 catches, 87 yards. Leading tackler was Sink Williams, 7 total tackles. For SMU, Kevin Jennings, 23 of 30, 260 yards, 2 touchdowns and a pick. SMU rushing, Chris Johnson with 6 carries for 44 yards and a touchdown. Leading receiver was Romelio Brinson, 7 catches, 121 yards, and a touchdown. Leading tackler, Brandon Miazono with 8 total tackles. As we go to the team stats, both teams turned it over 3 times. That's not good. East Texas A&M went for it on 3rd down 20 times, and they were successful 6 out of those 20. You would think by the team stats that this was a lot closer, or it should have been a lot closer. But the 42-13 score is a little bit misleading. Again, SMU going to have another successful season. Might not as successful this year as was last year, but nonetheless, they should have a successful season. My number 15, Florida Gators beat the shit out of Long Island University, 55-0. Again, as a Gator fan, I don't want to see this shit. Long Island University. Schedule somebody better. You can't. Again, I don't like it when they schedule cupcakes. Long Island, 49 yards passing, 37 yards rushing. It's not even worth me going over their stats. For Florida, DJ Lagway was 15 of 18, 120 yards, 3 touchdowns passing. Trammell Jones Jr. got in there as well, 12 of 18, 131, 2 touchdowns passing. Jaden Ball now carries 104 yards and a touchdown. A whole bunch of people caught balls. 27 catches for 251 yards collectively, 5 receiving touchdowns. Dare I go to the team stats? Long Island was 1 of 12 on 3rd down. They had 86 total yards. Florida 451. Ass whooping. Again, I just wish schools like Florida State, Ohio State scheduling Texas is a beautiful thing. Florida shouldn't be playing Long Island University. It should play Clemson your first week. I don't know. Why don't you play Boise State? Play at Michigan State. Something like that. Number 14, Michigan beat New Mexico 34-17. Everybody's got a hard on for Bryce Underwood. 34-17 against New Mexico. Jack Lane for New Mexico, 31 of 47, 208 yards, a touchdown. He threw the 3 picks, which killed him. Rushing, 28 carries, 50 yards collectively. Dorian Thomas, 10 catches, 72 yards, 2 receiving touchdowns. Mexico defense, Taven Combs, 9 total tackles. Michigan passing, Bryce Underwood was 21 of 31, 252 yards, touchdown, no picks. Justin Haynes rushing for Michigan. Have yourself a day. 16 carries, 159 yards, 3 touchdowns. Marlon Klein, 6 catches, 93 yards, and a touchdown. Ernest Hausman, 8 total tackles. As we go to the team stats, Mexico turned it over 3 times, Michigan only once. Michigan ran it for 201 yards, Mexico 50. When you can run the ball, actually, New Mexico held the ball longer than Michigan. But when you're running the ball like Michigan and you had some big plays like they did, wasn't an ass whooping. Nonetheless, Michigan takes the W. It's 8:50 here on the East Coast. That would be 5:50 on the West Coast. As we continue to go down the list here. Give me just a second. It is buffering yet again. And it's annoying. Technology does not like me. And of course, now it's going to act up even more. This is bullshit, man. There we go. Number 11, Arizona State beat Northern Arizona 38-19. Maybe a little bit closer than what people had hoped Arizona State was. Northern Arizona tied Pennington 22 of 35, 204 yards, touchdowns, no picks. Northern Arizona rushing 29 yards, 29 carries, 89 yards collectively. Northern Arizona receiving Colby Katzis, 6 catches, 76 yards. Jason Raines, 5 catches, 71 yards. Ramir Davis, 9 total tackles. Arizona State, Sam Levitt, 25 of 39, 252 yards, 2 touchdowns and a pick. 7 carries, 73 yards, 2 touchdowns rushing. Leading receiver was Jordan Tyson, 12 catches, 141 yards, 2 touchdowns. Leading tackler was Jordan Crook, 7 total tackles. I'm going to speed it up. I'm not going to go over the team stats for some of these games. We're coming up on the 9 o'clock hour. Let me just blow through these now. Again, thanks to Mr. Griffin McVeigh for coming on. The shocker of the weekend. Number 8, Alabama at the time, loses to Florida State 31-17. It wasn't close. I know Bama fans are ready to jump off a bridge and fire Kalen DeBoer. But look, like I said to Griffin, I don't care. Jesus Christ himself could be coaching this team the last couple of years. Wouldn't be good enough. They'll still want Saban to come back. Number 7, Oregon beat the hell out of Montana State, 59-13. Again, Montana State had a great year last year, but whatever. Come on. Again, they shouldn't be scheduling cupcakes. Number 5, Georgia beat Marshall 45-7. Number 9, LSU beat number 4, Clemson. If you watch the game, Clemson had control of it, even though they were only up 10-3 in the first half. LSU made the necessary adjustments. Clemson didn't. I so want to be a huge fan of Kay Klubnik, but in games like this, he just seems to fade. And Garrett Riley, the offense coordinator for Clemson, he's not the guy. He's just really not the guy. Number 2, Penn State hammered Nevada 46-11. And of course, we went over the Texas Ohio State game. So let's go on to week number 2. Let me make my against the spread picks this week. I was 3-1 on my best bets. My best bets this week are as follows. The first 2 I'm unsure of. I haven't even looked at the latest lines. You can hear these sirens in the background. That's why. The Ohio State Grambling game has no line on it, or I would have taken Ohio State. Huge. As I scroll down my list here. Clemson's minus 33.5 against Troy. I'm actually backing off this game. But I had them down too. Take Jacksonville State plus the points and the under in that game. Take the Texas Tech minus the points. Again, these point spreads are going to fluctuate anyway. I'm just throwing the teams out there. Bet at your own risk. Also take Texas A&M that game and the over. Take the Texas San Antonio Texas State game. Take the over. The North Texas and the Western Michigan game. Take the over. And Tulsa and New Mexico State. Take the over. Those are my best bets. I'm going to go down the list here of the top 25 teams in action this week. I was going to do you get the finger, as I always do. But even the game of the week, which most places will have their eye on, will be Michigan, Oklahoma. I don't even know if I want to. It's the 15th ranked team against the 18th ranked team. So I'm gonna back off doing a you get the finger for this week. It's not a great matchup. So let's go. This Friday, there are no top 25 teams in action. On Saturday at 12 on the Big Ten Network, number 2 Penn State playing Florida International. Florida State's favored by 42.5. Penn State will win this game, but I don't think they cover. I'm going to go Penn State 45, Florida International 13. 12 p.m. on ABC, number 7 Texas takes on San Jose State. Texas is favored by 36.5. I feel sorry for San Jose State. They may not score. I'm going to go Texas 43, San Jose State nothing. 12 p.m. on ESPN. Number 11 Duke or number 11 Illinois travels to Duke. Sneaky good game. Sneaky good game at noon. Illinois is only favored by 2.5. I think this will be a battle back and forth. I think Illinois wins though. Illinois 30, Duke 24. Poor East Texas A&M. They've got to go play the number 14 Florida State. There's no line on the game. Florida State, huge. Florida State 50, East Texas A&M nothing. 12 p.m. another big game, the Cyhawk Trophy game. Iowa travels to take on number 16 Iowa State. Iowa State favored by 3.5. Some people have picked Iowa to be a sneaky good pick. Close, really close. Iowa State 27, Iowa 24. 12 p.m. Baylor travels to take on number 17 SMU. SMU favored by 2.5. Baylor got smacked by Auburn. I'm going to call for an upset here. It's just a gut feeling. Baylor 28, SMU 26. 12 p.m. on SFS1. Kennesaw State travel to take on number 23 Indiana. Indiana favored by 33.5. Indiana will win, but they don't cover. Indiana 44, Kennesaw State 13. 12 p.m. Number 24, Texas Tech taking on Kent State. Kent State actually won a game. Spread's 48.5. Kent State might not score. Texas Tech 51, Kent State 3. 12 p.m. on the Big Ten Network. There is no line on this game. Oh, I'm sorry. I'm going through the top 25. It's not a top 25 game. Utah State travels to take on number 19 Texas A&M. Texas A&M is favored by 31.5. Yee. Texas A&M 44, Utah State 10. 3:30 p.m., but there's no line on the game. Number 1, Ohio State taking on Grambling. Ohio State 50, Grambling nothing. 3:30 p.m., no line on the game. Austin Peay takes on number 4, Georgia. Georgia 48, Austin Peay 7. 3:30 p.m., number 6, Oregon taking on Oklahoma State. Oregon's favored by 29.5. Oklahoma State won last week. Still don't know what we have at Oklahoma State. I'll go Oregon 44, Oklahoma State 10. 3:30 p.m. on the ACC network, number 8, Clemson taking on Troy. Clemson favored by 33.5. Clemson 40, Troy 10. 3:30 p.m. Ole Miss will have revenge on their mind. Number 20, Ole Miss at Kentucky. This is on ABC. Mississippi favored by 9.5. Ole Miss 31, Kentucky 13. 3:30 p.m. ESPN Plus and the SEC Network Plus. East Tennessee State traveling to take on number 22 Tennessee. No spread. Tennessee 47, East Tennessee State 7. Cal Poly travels to take on number 25, the Utes. What is a Ute? No line in the game. Utah 45, Cal Poly 0. Bethune-Cookman travels to take on number 5, Miami. No line. Laffer, Miami 49, Bethune-Cookman 0. 7 p.m. on ESPN Plus, the SEC Network Plus. South Carolina State travels to take on South Carolina, 10th ranked South Carolina. Again, no line. South Carolina 47, South Carolina State 7. Louisiana Tech traveling to take on number 3, LSU. LSU favored by 37.5. Probably a little bit of a letdown. LSU 40, Louisiana Tech 7. 7:30 p.m. on ESPN2, number 12, Arizona State travels to take on Mississippi State. Arizona State favored by 6.5. Arizona State 37, Mississippi State 17. 7:30 p.m. on ABC, marquee matchup, supposedly. Number 15, Michigan travels to take on number 18, Oklahoma. Oklahoma favored by 5.5. Look, still waiting to see out of Brett Venables' team. Michigan has found their quarterback in Bryce Underwood. I don't know what to expect. Oklahoma, if not now, when? Oklahoma 30, Michigan 27. Louisiana Monroe traveling to take on number 21 Alabama. Spread's 36.5. They have to kick their ass. Alabama 44, Louisiana Monroe 10. And that's it. Again, thanks to Griffin McVeigh for joining the program. Again, I gave you my best bets against the spread. Enjoy this weekend's college football. 2-3 weeks of the season, the Cupcake City. But again, I think Oklahoma will beat Michigan. Again, if not now, Oklahoma when? When are you going to finally turn the corner out of Brett Venables? Again, enjoy. Like my man Manning from WBRA TV, I used to say, enjoy. Hope your team wins this weekend. If not, sorry. I will be glued to the big screens at the casino watching college football all day long. I will see everybody tomorrow night on another edition of Early Evening Sports Buffet with the Ginch. Have a wonderful night, everybody. as I play myself out. Did it get rid of this music too? Yes? No, it didn't. Have a good night, everybody.
Cleats on the turf, hearts in the game. Chasing the glory, chasing the flame. One team, one dream, and never the same. Student body life, student body fight. Feel the surge, feel the might. Run the play under the blue spotlight. Victory calls in the deafening sound. We rise, we fall on this battleground. No quit, no break.